146, that's the number of companies valued at about $1 billion or more by venture capital firms. How many are left? At the top of that list, anyway, in valuation is Uber at $51 billion or so. So when will the ride-sharing service finally go public, and at what valuation? One of the company's early investors, Shervin Pishevar, co-founder of Sherpa Capital, joins me out here on the terrace to provide some insights into that question and more. Thank you for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
So Uber, is it going public this year?
As an investor and a former board member, I can't comment at all on any.
So is it going public at a $51 valuation, $100 billion, $200 billion? Didn't you say you think it could be a $200 billion company?
Well, I predicted that Facebook would hit $200 billion, and it did. I said that it would happen within 5 years. We talked about that last week with John Fort, and also predicted that Uber will cross the $200 billion mark at some point within the next 5 years.
How long does it have to go public?
The engine of growth that it has is there's plenty of time. They're in no hurry to go public, and there's no timeline. The scale at which this company is growing at 600 plus cities. There's thousands of other cities to expand into. I spoke at their employee summit. There were 5,000 employees there from all over the world. There's a culture that's been built that by Travis and the team that is very unique and is a reflection of what an incredible company they're building.
Because we're going to be talking to Lyft a little bit later. They're getting plenty of capital. They're growing quickly too. Is there enough room in this business for Uber and all the competitors that will ultimately multiply?
There's plenty of room. What we say is transportation is the new broadband, and that applies to Uber. It applies to Hyperloop. We're looking at technologies that can speed up of atoms, not just bits. And we can move that faster. We can make the global economy grow faster and faster and grow opportunities in places that aren't even reached yet today.
Wow. You mentioned the Hyperloop. Any news you want to share with us on that front today?
Yeah, so we're confirming that we've closed on $100 million in funding so far. Hyperloop is now almost 130 employees, Hyperloop Technologies, and we call it Hyperloop Tech. And we're the only company that's been able to raise that kind of capital. We have Rob Lloyd, who is the former president of Cisco, as the CEO of the company. And now we broke ground in Nevada. We're going to hit 400 miles per hour in the propulsion test in May.
Wow.
And we'll do a full-scale test in Nevada by the end of the year.
Bill, I know you want to ask a question, but you could just get on the Hyperloop and ask it, in person here, I guess, in about 3 minutes.
With a Hyperloop, I could be out in San Francisco in an hour, I guess, at that rate. Hey, Shervin, where do you stand on the Apple versus FBI debate? I mean, this has become one of the fundamental debates of our time right now in the issue of security versus privacy. Is it as black and white as the technology industry wants to rally behind Apple at all times, or not? Where are you on that?
I think it is a fundamental question for our society and our country. We're living in a time where there are absolute threats to our security. So it's a very nuanced issue. I don't think it's as black and white as everyone calls it out to be. We need to protect our citizens' right to privacy, but at the same time, our right to security.
Do you take any additional steps yourself on the security front?
In terms of my phone, or
in terms of your phone, I don't know if it's something as simple as the types of passcodes you use or the types of servers you feel comfortable storing your data on. Does it ever give you pause?
No, I mean I have not taken any extra steps. I think the encryption on iOS 8 is as everyone knows, good enough.
But it does make me think about Snapchat, which is another company we should mention
Absolutely.
here. Whether or not law enforcement tries to go after some of the models of companies where they want to be able to get the information and they can't because it disappears is part of it. But as a platform, Snapchat seems like it could maybe rival a Facebook one day.
It is rivaling Facebook. It's growing faster than Facebook at the same age. Two-thirds of the users are creating content every day. So what Evan Spiegel has created is pretty incredible. And Snapchat is rivaling Facebook and potentially could be as big over the next 5 to 7 years.
And just before we go, what about virtual reality? I mean, that also seems to be something that comes up a lot. Seems like it might be a fad, or seems like it really might be the next major platform. What's your view on that?
It's a major thesis for us in terms of a technology that is completely changing the way we're going to consume media and even transactions. It'll be the new browser through which we actually engage with the digital world.
And what's your preferred way to invest in that?
We're looking from the earliest stages to some mid-stage companies that we think are doing some interesting things. We think there's an opportunity for a Netflix for VR and talking to people in that space as well.
Well, congratulations on the fundraising.
Thank you.
Good to see you out here, Shervin. Thank you so much for your time.
Of course.
Shervin Pishevar is co-founder of Shervin Capital. Bill?